A young monk was struggling with his negative thoughts. He would constantly be thinking about all the things that could go wrong, and it was starting to affect his life. He couldn't sleep at night, he was always anxious, and he was starting to have trouble concentrating. The monk went to his teacher, a wise old Zen master, for help. The master listened to the monk's problems, and then he told him a story. Once upon a time, the master said, there was a farmer who lived in a small village. The farmer was a very hard worker, but he was also very unlucky. One day, his crops were destroyed by a storm. The next day, his barn burned down. And the day after that, his horse ran away. The farmer was devastated. He didn't know what to do. He sat down on the ground and started to cry. Just then, a stranger walked by. The stranger saw the farmer crying, and he asked him what was wrong. The farmer told the stranger about all his misfortunes. The stranger listened patiently, and then he said, "Don't worry, farmer. Everything happens for a reason." The farmer didn't believe him. He thought the stranger was just trying to make him feel better. But the stranger insisted that he was telling the truth. "The storm destroyed your crops," the stranger said, "but it also cleared the ground for new seeds to be planted. The barn burned down, but it also freed up your time to do other things. And the horse ran away, but it also gave you the opportunity to buy a new one." The farmer was still skeptical, but he decided to take the stranger's advice. He planted new seeds, he started spending more time with his family, and he bought a new horse. A few months later, the farmer's crops were the best they had ever been. He had more money than he had ever had before, and he was happier than he had ever been. The farmer realized that the stranger was right. Everything happens for a reason. And if you focus on the positive, you can find good in even the worst of situations. The young monk listened to the story, and he realized that he had been focusing on the negative. He started to think about all the good things in his life, and he started to feel more positive. He was able to sleep better, he was less anxious, and he was able to concentrate better. The young monk learned that it is important to focus on the positive, even when things are tough. If you focus on the negative, you will only see the bad things in life. But if you focus on the positive, you will be able to find good in even the worst of situations.